Well, hello. I'm Stephen Page, and welcome to a Cuppa with Stephen Page. I'm here with my cup of tea. You can tell it's mine because it's got an S on it. S for super cup of tea. So I have a bunch of questions I've been given that I need to answer, and a few songs I'm going to play for you. All here. I know the site is Gigs in Scotland is what I'm appearing on. I am not in Scotland. I am in upstate New York in my basement, but I love playing in Scotland. So imagine this is a gig in Scotland for Scottish people. Non-Scottish people are allowed to watch, but I might just be, might be in jokes and secret language that we have here that perhaps nobody else will understand. Let me tell you quickly who I am. Stephen Page. I am a singer-songwriter originally from Canada, and for 20 years was one of the lead singers, and I was one of the founders of the Bare Naked Ladies. And for the last 11 years, I've been a solo artist. I've made a bunch of solo records, wrote a musical that was supposed to be on stage this past year, or this coming year, but of course all of that's been put on hold because of COVID-19. Some of my most memorable gigs have been in Scotland, and I'll be talking about those as I get to the questions. But I'll start with a song. What song to sing? Why don't I sing my new song about isolation and lockdown? Everybody in the house next door, everybody on the ocean floor, everybody in the grocery store sing, oh, 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 oh. Everybody says the bacon bread, everybody feel the creeping dread, everybody's going back to bed like me, I'm here to stay. Everybody taking online courses, everybody with the tiny horses, everybody due to unseen forces, oh, 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 oh. Everybody with the broken dreams, everybody on the big sport teams, everybody with the fake news memes in isolation, 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 isolation. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody with that empty fridge, everybody on the Brooklyn Bridge, everybody with the privilege sing. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody with the lonely heart, everybody sharing graphs and charts, everybody singing wherefore art thou, oh, 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 me, oh. I could take the easy route and say this is the way we've always been, but spend a couple hours down the rabbit hole and you'll know what I mean. Everybody who just lost their gig, everybody who is starting big, everybody gonna flip their wig like me, I'm going crazy. Everybody with the cable cut, everybody in the Pizza Hut, everybody is together but in isolation, 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 isolation. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody with a nice clean tone, everybody with the filthy phone, everybody staying home alone like me, I'm here to say that everybody's gonna make some stuff, everybody's gonna say enough, everybody's gonna call their own bluff in isolation, 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 isolation. Oh, 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 isolation. Thank you very much. I started laughing to myself partway through that because I could see in the image on my screen of my video that my fingers look like I'm bleeding. I'm not. I'm cooking some beets for dinner, or as you might say, beetroot. Beetroot. I'm cooking beets. I peeled them, and they're upstairs waiting to be made into a salad. And that's what's on my hands. I washed them, but it's tough to get out. Imagine if I had turmeric in the other one, but I don't. Let's go to some questions here. What's your quarantine routine? And most importantly, key quarantine snack and outfit. Quarantine routine has changed over the course of quarantine. For me, quarantine started middle of March. And at that point, I was like going to bed early and waking up at like 4:30 or 5 in the morning, which is crazy. I'm a musician. We don't do that. And realizing I could not get back to sleep. I was up. And so my day started then. My whole clock shifted. Now I get up around 7:30 or something. I have some coffee. Have some more coffee. I think about doing some stuff. Then I might shower and dress. And yeah, there was a time when the soft pant, the soft trouser, the sweat pant, tracksuit bottoms were the way to go. And then, unless I was doing one of these, and then I always would put jeans or something on, because even if you don't see my bottom half, I have enough shame to know that what could somehow be transmitting the soft fabric. As far as outfit goes on top, it could be a t-shirt, a gig t-shirt. It could be even my own t-shirt, because I have some of those. I've taken them off the merch table when I've been sweaty and forgot to bring a change of clothes after a gig. So now I have a drawer full of those, and I'll wear them around. And then I might have to go get groceries and forget that I have my own t-shirt on and walk into the store with a t-shirt that says Stephen Page. There we go. Key quarantine snack. I do like a good popcorn. I love to pop. Fresh popped corn is a snack I really enjoy. I didn't put on the COVID-19 yet, thank God. I was so afraid that I was going to pack on the pounds that I think that just the general anxiety has actually taken pounds off. So there's something good, silver linings, small silver linings. Let's sing another song. Let us, meaning me, sing another song. What do I feel like singing? I'm just looking at a list here from an old show. See, I do these shows from this room every Saturday night from my basement. If you go to stephenpage.com, you can get tickets for the next show. But I've been doing them for a couple months now, and I'm going to keep doing them for as long as I need to, as long as I'm not out on the road doing gigs, and that could be a long time. But I take requests from people, so I have these lists of requests and so on. And let's see here's a request from last show that I'll do for you now, called A New Shore. As captain of this band of merry sailors, I'm a black mark, I'm a failure, but before you watch me drown, I'm relinquishing command for something I don't understand. This man's about to turn his whole life upside down. I set a course for a new shore. It looked the same as the one before, and I forgot what I'd been sailing for, and why I thought this time would be different. I do most of this by feeling, let go of the wheel. The constellations do the navigation on their own. Whilst yearning for adventure, dreading censure and absentia, I would rather be at sea than be alone. I set a course for a new shore. It looked the same as the one before, and I forget what I'd been sailing for, and why I thought this time would be different. Off the charts we drew, they said there wasn't anything but fairy tales. I showed them it was you, I told them you were everything a fairy tale could be. boat sails by. The shore remains, and so do I. I swear this time will be different. I settled here on a new shore. My lips were blue and my legs were sore, and I'd forget if I was pushed or I jumped overboard. And after all this time, what's the difference? Ooh, 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 ah. Land ho, land ho, land ho, land ho, land ho. Land ho, land ho, land ho, land ho, land ho, land ho. Thank you. Let's get some more questions here. Question number 2. 2 out of 10. What was the first album you bought and the first gig you attended? First album I bought with my own money, because I had received albums that I'd asked for, like for Christmas or my birthday or something. But the first one I actually bought with my own money was Get the Knack by The Knack, featuring My Sharona, Good Girls Don't. Still one of my favorite albums of all time. Questionable, problematic lyrics, shades, spectrum on the spectrum of misogyny, lyric-wise, which I didn't understand as a 9-year-old kid when I bought it. I just knew it was kind of dirty. But God, that band, they sound so great. It's one of the greatest recordings of a rock and roll band, of a 4-piece rock and roll band. Still really love that record. First gig I attended. As a kid, I went to several with my parents. I went to like the Mariposa Folk Festival and saw people like Pete Seeger. And I remember them taking me to see Harry Chapin, the great singer-songwriter. But the first gig I went to without my parents. Oh, I went to see Queen with my dad. And I saw the Simon and Garfunkel reunion with my dad. But in 1983, I went to see Men Without Hats with Chris Edmeades at the Ontario Place Forum. His mom came, but she didn't stand with us. She stood at the back and waited for us, and we got to go rock out to Safety Dance. It was awesome. Still one of my favorite bands. Okay, question number 3. If you were a biscuit, what would you be? Now, as some people may know, on my last trip to the UK, I did sample just about every biscuit I could get my hands on and did little online reviews of them. I so wanted to love the Jammy Dodger, but unsatisfying. I find it unsatisfying. Where if I was to be a biscuit, I guess I would probably be see, what I am and what I like may not be the same thing, but I identify with with a digestive, because I think a digestive cookie is it's solid. You know, it's got a good foundation. It's sweet, and I think people take it for granted. Honestly, you know, it doesn't have the flash of the Jaffa Cake, but it also doesn't have the particle board base of the Jaffa Cake. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the digestive. I think that's the way to go. And I think the word digestive is just gross enough. It's just disgusting enough to also be something I identify with. One more question for you here. What is the most memorable show you've played? Well, here we go. I'm not pandering. I swear I'm not pandering. But it's a few different shows, particularly 2 shows at the same venue 25 years apart. I remember in 92, I think it was 92 or 93, Bare Naked Ladies did our first real tour of the UK. We'd done bits and pieces of promo stuff, and we played at King Tut's Wawa Hut in Glasgow. And it was, jam-packed, and people sang at the top of their lungs. And people sang in Scottish accents at the top of their lungs. And it was mind-blowing to us, because it was the first time that we'd realized, really, I think, that people who weren't our friends and family knew and liked our music. It was a mind-blower. I mean, and that club means a lot to me, but as does Glasgow, as does Scotland. But that show in particular was a moment where first it was like, wow, holy crap, this audience loves to sing. But when we realized that they were singing our songs back at us. And then about 25 years later, I went back and played at King Tut's with the Stephen Page Trio, and it was the same feeling, except heavier and lighter all at the same time. It was so emotional for me to go there and to share with my friends who hadn't been there the first time around, Craig and Kevin, my partners in the trio, to be able to play and have that audience sing at the top of their lungs. And it just felt like we were sharing something really special. And I feel like Scottish crowds are the kind of crowds who, if they love you, they will sing at the top of their lungs and they will love you to death. If they don't love you, they will tell you. And you have to earn their affection. And I like that. I don't want to ever just assume I've got an audience's attention or affection. I want to feel like I've worked for it. But this next song, it's a song I remember playing at King Tut's back in 92 and having the audience sing and having my mind blown. And then it's happened again every time we've come back, and it's been remarkable. When I was born, they looked at me and said, what a good boy, what a smart boy, what a strong boy. When you were born, they looked at you and said, what a good girl, what a smart girl, what a pretty girl. We've got these chains hanging around our necks, people wanna strangle us with them before we take our first breath. Afraid of change, afraid of staying the same. When temptation calls, we just look away. This name is the hair shirt I wear. This hair shirt is woven from your brown hair. This song is the cross that I bear. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Be with me tonight. I know that it isn't right, but be with me tonight. I go to school, I write exams. If I pass or fail, if I drop out, does anyone give a damn? And if they do, they'll soon forget, 'cause it won't take much for me to show them my life ain't over yet. Wake up scared, I wake up strange. I wake up wondering if anything in my life is ever gonna change. I wake up scared, I woven from your brown hair. This song is the cross that I bear. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Be with me tonight. I know that it isn't right. Ooh. But be with me tonight. I couldn't tell you that I was wrong. Chickened out, grabbed a pen and a paper, sat down and I wrote this song. I couldn't tell you you were right. So instead I looked in the mirror, watched TV, lit awake all night. Oh, I got these chains hanging around. I next people want to strangle us with them before we take our first breath. Afraid of change, afraid of staying the same when temptation calls. Hey, oh, this name is the hair shit I wear, and this hair shit is woven from your brown hair. Oh, this song is the cross that I bear. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Be with me tonight. And when I was born, they looked at me and said, what a good boy, what a smart boy, what a strong boy. When you were born, they looked at you and said, what a good girl, what a smart girl, what a pretty girl. Hey, yeah, da 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 da. Thank you. I got a bunch of questions here to get through. Hang on. Let's do this. What's your favorite music, film, or documentary? Hard to think of. There's so many that I enjoyed. I think my favorite music, film, or documentary might be. God, Stop Making Sense is pretty darn great, isn't it? It's a pretty great one. I really liked. I think it's called Soul Boys of the Western World, the documentary about Spandau Ballet. Because I found it very, it's not one of my favorite bands of all time. I like some of the stuff. And then maybe after True, I didn't really like any of it that much. But I thought it was a great picture of what it's like to be in a band. And what the negotiations and battles and everything else are like, and what success is like. You know, how as much as I tasted it with Bare Naked Ladies, we certainly weren't on the level of Spandau Ballet, but at the same time, some of that rang true. And it's funny and sad and a great historical document of an interesting time too. I'm kind of, being a kid who grew up in the 80s, kind of obsessed with the 80s. It was that, so I would recommend it if you haven't seen it. Tell us something about yourself that no one else knows. This isn't beetroot. When this is all over, where is the first place you'll visit? Well, I've heard good things about Durham. I think actually the first place I'll visit is probably I'll go back up to Canada to visit my parents, because it's been several months since I've seen them. And I know they want to see me. I want to see them. So that will probably be the first place I go. Okay, I'm stuck on a desert island, and I only have one album, one film, and one book to last me. What have I chosen? The Bible, and the Bible. Let's see. One album. It's got to be a long one. Welcome to the Pleasure Dome, Frank Goes to Hollywood. No, I think it's gonna be. I do like that album though. I really like it. Uh, One album that I want to listen to over and over again. I'm gonna have to say that it's. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say the White Album. It's annoying, isn't it? I mean, it just seems like because I'm just thinking about whose voice do I want to hear in every mood I'm in forever. Because I'm part of me is like, oh, Dexys, don't stand me down. But then I'm thinking that I think there'll be times when I'm thinking I'd like to hear somebody who's not Kevin Rowland at this point. I don't know. I think the Beatles' White Album has the most variety for me to match the different moods I may be in while I'm on a desert island. One film. I think that one film is going to be. I think it might be as depicted here. I don't know if you can see that poster. This Serious Man by the Coen Brothers. I love it. I could. Oh no! You know it's going to be Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, the Wes Anderson film. I could watch that 100 times. So that's a good one for film and book. I'm gonna have to say, I think if I'm gonna read a book over and over again, it's either gonna be something really big and dense like 2666 by Roberto Bolaño, or it's gonna be a book of poems because you can get a lot out of that. And in that case, I might say a book like Cemetery Nights by Stephen Dobbins is a book of poetry that has stuck with me for a long time. Um, let's see what else we got here. If I could eat only one meal for the rest of my life, what would it be? We need a starter, a main, and a dessert. Well, here you go. The Stephen Page Trio, um, consisting of myself on guitar and piano, and then we've got Craig Northey on the guitar and Kevin Fox on the cello. Uh, we played a residency at the Carlisle Hotel, a fancy Upper East Side New York hotel, about 4 years ago. And they put me up at the hotel, but of course didn't put the other guys up there because, I don't know, cheap. So I got an Airbnb for those guys down the street. So every night after the show, we'd walk back. I'd walk them back to their place, and we'd go and grab a bite to eat, which seems like a very New York kind of thing to do at 1 in the morning. And we'd go to this coffee shop, little diner, and we would all order exactly the same thing every night. And we've gotten nicknames because of our entree choices uh, out of that. And where Craig is salad, Kevin is sandwich, and I'm soup. But really, my thing is first course would be soup, preferably like a chicken soup. There it was a chicken and rice thing, but a chicken and matzo ball soup would be wonderful too as my appetizer. My second course would be an omelet. An omelet with, let's say, cheese and mushrooms, or just mushrooms. That'd be wonderful. And then a dessert, I think a nice piece of coconut cake, which I did not have, but I bet you there was good coconut cake to be had in New York City at 1 in the morning. I just didn't think of it. I'm not as much of a dessert guy, but if I was going to have a dessert, I'd like that. All right, I'm going to do one last song for you. And while I'm setting this up, I'll tell you the answer to the last question. Number 10, who or what is the greatest love of your life? I wish I could answer this glibly, but I don't know. I don't think it's right. I think I've got to give you the answer that's kind of hackneyed and kind of tired. It really is my family, though. But, specifically my wife, Christine, my children, Isaac, Ben, and Jonah, and my 2 dogs, Pompey and Clementine. Each of them in their own way has not only made my life better than it would have been without them, but they also, I think in a certain way, they've each saved my life. Just as music has saved my life lots of times. But in a really profound way, these people have kept me alive. And so they are the greatest loves of my life. Followed by music. My friends in the Stephen Page Trio, number 3, and number 4 would be doing gigs in Scotland. thank you for watching this. I hope to see you really soon. I hope we can get back on the road. I would love to come and visit wherever you're watching from. I can't wait to do it, but I want to wait to do it safely. Safely for you and for me and everybody else. So in the meantime, I'll see you from my basement as time progresses. Drove downtown in the rain, 9:30 on a Tuesday night, just to check out the late night record shop. Call it impulsive, call it compulsive, call it insane. When I'm surrounded, I just can't stop. It's a matter of instinct, it's a matter of conditioning, and a matter of fact. You can call me Pavlov's dog. Ring a bell and I'll salivate. How'd you like that? Talk to Lindsay, tell me, and I just better go. 'Cause right now I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. Well, I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. Whoa. So I'm lying here, just staring at the ceiling tiles, and I'm thinking about what to think about. Just listening and re-listening, smile and smile, and I'm wondering if this is some kind of creative trap, because I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. Well, I'm lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did. Whoa. And if you wanna find me, I'll be out in the sandbox, just wondering where the hell all the love is gone. Playing my guitar and building castles in the sun, whoa, 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 and singing fun, fun, fun. I'm lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did. Well, I'm lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did. Whoa. I had a dream that I was 300 pounds, and though I was very heavy, I floated till I couldn't see the ground. I floated till I could not see the ground. No, 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 somebody help me. I couldn't see the ground. Somebody help me. Couldn't see the ground. Somebody help me. Because I'm lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did. Oh, well, I'm lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did. Ooh, yeah! Drove downtown in the rain, 9:30 on a Tuesday night, just to check out the late night record shop. Late night record shop. Call it impulsive, call it compulsive, call it insane. Oh, but when I'm surrounded, I just can't stop. Thanks a lot, everybody. Great to see you. I can't see you. Hope to see you soon. Be safe.